go either way, either chair. All right, hello, my name is Tom.
Hi, April.
I'm famed Academy Award-winning director. Before we start, I just want to talk about this incredible film that I've decided to make. It's called A Needle in Time. The story is going to be this single father. He's being blackmailed to use his time machine to travel back in time and help this evil corporation take over the world. Meanwhile, you've got the female lead who's going to be an international agent. She's going to travel back in time to try and stop him. But while they're doing this, the two are actually going to fall in love and then team up. And at the end of the movie, they're going to take out this evil corporation. I think this is a big time movie. It's based on the Diane Cook series Splintering Time, which sold 200 million copies. I think if we do this movie correctly, it could be not only the biggest summer blockbuster ever, but also could win even more Academy Awards, and we could be looking at one of the greatest films of all time.
Wow.
So I've come to you because I think that National Artist Productions is a production company that can really understand my vision and help me actualize this amazing film.
Okay. Wonderful. I mean, that was one of my first questions, about your interest in working with our production company specifically, because we definitely are aware of your talent and the success that you've had with previous films, and so we're actually really excited to, work on a project with you. So I just wanted to ask if we're on the same page. It sounds like it. Is that right? That we're pretty much on the same page. That we feel like we're a good match to move forward with the. I believe the genre is romance.
Yes, it's a romantic thriller.
Okay.
The romance will definitely happen.
Okay.
Obviously, I get a little bit more excited about the time travel and the thriller parts, but the romance, the script that's been written so far is there's going to be some rewrites, but the romance in there is top notch. I think you'll be crying every 5 pages, every 5 minutes into this film, just by how touching the romance between the two leads is.
Wow. Okay. Exciting. Yeah, I saw a reference to Titanic, Da Vinci Code, so those are really great movies as well. Okay, so thank you for sharing the premise of the movie. So basically, like I said, we have a strong interest in working with you, and they're just kind of, from the production standpoint, there's a lot of things that we have to prioritize and go over in terms of working out a deal. So it looks like there are 11 issues.
Yeah, can we start by just sort of listing what those are, just so I have them all down?
Sure. So I'm going to go ahead and list them in order of importance to our company.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how I prioritize them. So we have director's salary, your salary, the pre-production budget, the post-production schedule, the director's bonus, location, personal location, which is your per diem, editorial control, production designer, child star, female lead,
yes,
and male lead.
So you actually have the child star is more important than the male and female leads?
Yeah, yes, in terms of the options that we have available to us, and also, there seems to be an emphasis on the child role in this film. I know there's romance, but it's my understanding there's also a child involved.
Right. So the male lead actually is a single father. He's got a couple of daughters that are actually abducted by the evil corporation, and that's how they get in. So my question is there sort of a limited budget on child stars, or could we have multiple child stars in this movie?
Well, I would say that kind of depends. It kind of depends on what your vision is, and then also the flexibility that we have with the other roles. So you definitely want 3 roles at minimum: the female, the male, and the child.
Right. So in the books, there's actually a couple of daughters.
Okay.
I've been sort of tinkering with the script. We could do it with only one daughter.
Okay.
But if more is better, then there's actually 3 daughters in the the original books. So I don't know if budget is an issue that needs to be dealt with. Is there a budgetary constraint on getting the child stars, or?
I mean, in general, there's definitely budget limitations in that we want to create like the most successful movie we can with you. Of course, minimizing the expense to, yield higher profit. So we had originally factored in for one child star, but depending on perhaps who you want for the other positions, we may be able to move around, because, different actors will charge different prices, so maybe able to make if you wanted to do that. So am I hearing that maybe the child role is probably one of like higher on your priority list?
No, actually, I'm more concerned with the leads. I just was wondering. I just stood out because you mentioned it as being a high priority. Is there someone you guys had in mind as someone you want to hire for this film?
For the female lead? Or
For the child.
For the child. Yeah. So our first selection would be Dakota Fanning. We are a fan of Dakota Fanning, and we think that she would be good for this role. She would be against her counterpart, her male counterpart. I think would be Macaulay Culkin. Who's also involved in the film in some way. So she would be a good counterpart for him. So that was our initial thought. How does that sound?
I really like Dakota Fanning, and she was actually my first choice.
Perfect.
If there can only be one, Dakota Fanning was my first choice. I don't know.
Okay.
Is there a budgetary constraint where there can only be one child star, or is more better?
I'm actually, in terms of whether or not more is better, I'm going to defer to you on that because you're the creative mind here. Budgetary constraints, I mean, it kind of depends on who we cast for the other roles. We can probably factor in another child, depending on who that is, and then who we cast for the male and the female lead.
Okay, well, I'd also like, I also really like Emma Roberts, and I guess Miley Cyrus is another child actor. There are three daughters in the original books, and again, I can get the script to only include one, but I don't see any reason why, unless there's a huge budgetary constraint, if there's a problem on your end, why we can't have three. I feel like you get more names there, more buzz.
So, we can do 3, but I'm gonna have to, that will impact the budgeting for the other 10 issues, I guess, is what I'm saying. I don't have like a firm, this is the max amount we can spend on a child actor, but they all are kind of interdependent based on what your salary is, what the pre-production budget is, all that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely not opposed to having more children at all, because I'm gonna defer your creative mind on that one. I just have to make sure that we have enough resources to cover the whole thing in a way that is cost effective for everybody.
Okay, well, I like Dakota Fanning. Right now, let's pencil her in as the child star.
Okay.
And maybe later we can discuss whether there's room for others. So you said salary was your top priority.
Right.
Now, for my last movie, I made $400,000.
Correct. Yeah, I noticed that.
But again, this was before I won the Academy Award. I think.
Correct.
Going into this movie, I feel like double that is well within my rank, and I also feel like I care so much about this film that I really do want to get a percentage of the gross. I was looking at $800,000 as the salary and then half 15% of the gross.
Okay, so this is probably where we're going to have most of our conversation. So definitely very impressed and appreciate your award-winning films. Those are great. That's one of the main reasons why we want to work with you. As far as doubling the salary goes, though, the issue is that we are aware of the fact that your projects went over budget, and because of that, we have to kind of anticipate that potential cost. I believe it took down for whatever reasons, and I think that there was a deadline missed for the summer blockbuster event period. So, I would like to, how much negotiation room is there for your salary based upon that information, where we're coming from, because we have to kind of anticipate based off of what we know of your previous projects, what kind of exposure that's actually we're gonna have to take on. But potentially $800,000. You said double, so $800,000. I mean, that's double than your last salary. That if you were to go over budget, we may be coming out way more than your last salary to fund the project. So we were thinking, definitely more than your last project, but we were thinking maybe $450,000, and then a bonus on top of that for the success of the movie, depending on how successful it is. That's significantly lower than what you were thinking of, but maybe we can.
Would it be the 15% bonus I asked for? Because I can see myself going for just I believe in this project so much that if you give me the 15% of the gross, I would be willing to work for $450.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So you'd be willing to take the $450 if we gave you the 15% bonus?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I definitely, let me take a look. Can I review my notes really quickly? I can definitely understand your passion for the 15%. You're expecting you're going to see so many rewards from this movie, and we definitely want to be supportive of that. I can't do 15%. I don't have the authority for that. But I think that I can probably. I mean, let me see. So, I mean, you're saying that you really, really, really believe in this project, and we really believe in it too. So we can do maybe the $450,000 salary with maybe, I mean, I could probably go as high as 5%.
Yeah, that's not going to do it for me. I'd be willing to work for $450,000 for 15%. Even for 12%, I'd be able to, but not for 5%. And this movie, I need at least 10% of the gross as a bonus. I feel like that's what I'm owed just because of how much of me I put into this film. I feel I need at least 10%. And I'd be willing to go down to 450 if you give me at least 12%.
Okay.
But I don't think I could settle for anything less than 10%.
Okay. So why don't we look into this? So there's like a lot of moving parts here. So one of the things is we are not so much concerned about the kind of creative part of it as we are about making sure that we can produce this in a way that is cost effective.
Right.
So if you excuse me. So some of the other things that were on our kind of prioritization list, kind of high up there, is the pre-production budget and the post-production budget. And I think that maybe if we look at those issues, we might be able to fill in the gaps between where we are with the salary and the bonus. So for the pre-production budget, this is something that we are really, really concerned about. We like to keep these tight, so that we don't get off track. So we are, we'd like to allocate $250,000 for a pre-production budget.
So I can see myself being able to do that if we agree to the 450 base salary and 12% of bonus. I could do 250,000 for pre-production in that scenario. Again, that's pushing on that issue a lot for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I was doing my initial write-up of how much it would be, I got that it would be 500,000.
$500,000.
But I do think I can cut that in half by putting more work into that. But again, I'd be willing to do that work. But again, I really do want the 12% bonus.
Okay, so is your top issue the director's bonus? Is that your main priority?
I've got a couple other big priorities, but that is a major one, yes.
Okay. So I'll keep that up there while we use other cards. So, because how I mentioned before, kind of they're all related. So if I can get some wiggle room on the other things, I can give more on the other issues. What about the location?
Okay, so this is one. As I've told you, so that in the book itself and in the script, there's 6 different exotic locations. There's ancient Egypt, ancient Rome. There's France during the French Revolution. There's actually Japan during World War II. There's sort of more modern China, and then there's the last scenes are in the Philippines.
Okay.
I actually looked at a couple of these that we could connect, and I think we could do this with 4 exotic locations.
Okay. So I don't think I can do 4 exotic locations because of the expense. I actually think that probably we could, with a combination of LA, the area in LA, and Hollywood sets, I think we would be able to construct something to resemble those exotic locations, but the expense of having to move everybody to 4 different places around the world, I think would just be too far outside of our budget. With that being said, I think that I still want to honor the 4 different areas that you think that need to go with the book. So I think that we probably have the technology to recreate that. Here.
By technology, you're not talking about green screen, right? Because there's not going to be any green screen in this movie. That's just, that goes against my artistic integrity entirely.
Okay.
Is there a number of locations you guys would be able to get into? I'm combining what I need to do in the Japan and Chinese scenes, and I'm sort of striking the beach and being like, we can figure out a way to do the beach in LA all together, but I can't see, I'm basically, I need landmarks from France and Rome and Egypt, so I don't really see any way to be able to do those, to be able to build a giant pyramid, for instance.
So, I guess my question is, do you just need the image of these things? A realistic looking image, or do you need actual scenes to happen there?
I need actual scenes to be able to happen there.
Okay. Well, those are quite expensive. I don't have the authority to get 4 exotic locations. You're saying that you can go to a $250,000 budget, pre-production budget.
Pre-production budget, that's an area where I feel, again, that's an area I feel I could cut some spending and really do a lot. so a lot of the pre-production stuff is, for instance, scouting and script revisions. I feel like I could take on a lot of those myself instead of having to pay other people to do them. But again, if I'm going to be doing all this, I need to feel
Okay.
like I'm properly compensated.
No, I mean, that makes sense. I guess what I'm kind of getting at here is if we were to give you more kind of autonomy during the actual creation of the film, I mean, what we would have to need in exchange is, since we're very concerned about going over budget and, kind of the post-production time period afterwards of editing, that's what we're really concerned about. So we would definitely, I mean, we could consider giving you more autonomy during, for creating the film, but in exchange, we would probably need to have control over the editorial aspect of it.
Okay, so that's going to be another area where I think we have conflicting. Are we talking about the post-production schedule or editorial control?
I'm talking about the editorial control right now.
Okay. This might end up being a deal breaker because that's going to be an area where I need full control. I can't give up any of the editorial control. That's just me as an artist. If I can't have producers being in the editing bay. That needs to be all me.
So you don't want any of the production company involved in the editorial process?
That's correct.
Okay. Let me see.
Why don't we move it to something lighter? Do you have any suggestions for a male lead?
We were thinking Harrison Ford.
So my issue with Harrison Ford is, well, it's a couple things. First off, the part is obviously much younger. Harrison Ford is in his mid-70s.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, the books are a trilogy, and while I've only got one film right now, I do feel like if it's a success, there might be room for sequels.
Okay.
And quite frankly, I don't know if Harrison Ford's going to be alive to make all the sequels that might be in this franchise.
Oh, so you're concerned about
Age, and also he's older than the character by a lot. And considering some of the female leads that I've considered, I think he's too old.
Okay, so who's your second choice? Or who would be your first choice?
Well, my first choice is Tom Cruise. I know there's maybe some controversy with him, but he's extremely talented. He's the perfect age. He's got the perfect look. I've seen it. He's been in a movie before with Dakota Fanning. So if he's that father-daughter dynamic fits very well, and so I think he would be perfect for the male lead of this film.
I mean, I think he's very talented. I just don't think he's within our budget. He's very, very expensive. And then combined with all of the other kind of issues that we're running into, I don't think that he would necessarily, I think that he might cost too much. He's definitely the most expensive male actor. But again, I mean, if we could move things around, we might be able to afford Tom Cruise. So, I mean, I'm trying to compromise or reconcile the gap between wanting to honor your artistic, wishes, and making sure that we will be able to fund this film in a timely manner, fund and actually produce the film in a timely manner. So, I mean, my inclination is to give you all of the decisions about all of this, but the problem is that, if we don't have any say in anything, we're essentially paying you a rather large salary, a significant bonus, without any control at all over any part of the process, which is difficult for our company to do because it's extraordinarily risky.
I mean, is it risky though? I've just come off of a Silver Globe and an Academy Award. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm sort of the hottest director in Hollywood right now.
No, I completely understand. No, I completely understand where you're coming from.
Again, this movie is based on a very successful book. Even if I wasn't such a renowned filmmaker, I think this is money in the bank, and I understand some cost cutting, but again, I'm willing to put in so much of my own. Or is there another male actor?
Yeah, we were thinking alternatively, Matthew McConaughey.
So I'm willing to pencil Matthew McConaughey. I consider him talented. He's someone I think could fit the role.
Okay. Probably the appropriate age.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, if you're willing to give me the complete editorial control, I'm willing to let you guys have some say in the casting, for sure.
So if we give you
Because again, while I have my vision of what the film looks like, I understand that there are some areas where you guys are very good in knowing who sells tickets and whatnot.
Okay. So basically, your primary concerns are the editorial control and your bonus, not necessarily the salary. Is that correct?
Yeah, I care. Because I believe so much in this film. I believe the bonus, having the percentage, it's going to more than make up for my salary for any salary cuts I take, and the editorial control that needs to be my movie.
Okay.
I mean, that's how you're going to get another Academy Award out of this. I don't believe that the studios can dictate art. I think the artist needs to have control in order to really make art.
Okay. I can appreciate that. Well, okay. So let's just say we tentatively agree on Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
And I don't think we discussed female leads, but the child, I think we tentatively agreed on Dakota.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what about female leads?
So my ideal female casting for this would be Angelina Jolie.
Okay.
I see this part being requiring a lot of physical fitness. She's very fit. She's the perfect age. Like I saw her in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and you can just believe her to be sort of the CIA agent that the female lead is in this film. And also she can act, which is always a plus for an actress.
She is a great actress, but she's extremely busy. She is the Goodwill Ambassador for the UN, and it's very unlikely that she's gonna make, more than one film a year, and she already has a film right now with all her upcoming projects. So it's not necessarily a disagreement with your assessment of her acting. It's just the fact that I don't think that we can book her and get the film done in a timely manner. But alternatively, I actually do know Jennifer Lopez. I think, we think that she would be perfect for this part. I don't know what you think about that. She's pretty dynamic. She's versatile. She's probably an appropriate age for Matthew McConaughey. I actually think they've done a movie together before. Something about some wedding movie, The Maid or something like that. So, I don't know what you think about her. She would be our first choice for the part. But, as a director, what is your opinion about that?
I'm going to be very frank in that I don't actually find her to be a very good actress.
Okay.
But again, I feel like if you guys are willing to give me the editorial control in this, I can make this a good movie no matter who the actors are. So
Okay.
I'd be willing to agree to Jennifer Lopez if you'd be willing to agree that I get full editorial control.
Okay, so let's tentatively operate on the assumption that we would be able to do that. Again, not necessarily coming to an agreement on that, but just so that we can see where we are with the numbers. So J-Lo, Matthew McConaughey, so we have all the actresses down. Since we're talking about people, another issue I'd like to talk about is the production designer. This is something I think is pretty important to us. She would be part of our team working with you, and we would like to have Sandra Neal as the production designer. I think she's experienced, she's competent, and that she would be, do a good job in that role.
Sandra Neal?
Sandra Neal.
Yeah. I actually agree with you entirely. Sandy Hill is my first choice. I've worked with her before. And actually, I don't know, she's kind of got a reputation as a bit of a sort of a bean counter, which I think really balances out well with me.
Good. Okay. Okay, so perhaps as a tangential issue, we should talk about the personal location budget. This gets a little tricky since you're asking for 4 exotic locations. I mean, we have a great catering department here, so any per diems for exotic locations would, of course, incur additional cost for us. I mean, is there any way that you can reduce the number of exotic locations from 4?
Let's see. I think I need Egypt. So I don't know the Japan and China scenes. I think maybe we can do those on a set.
I mean, also there are towns like, I'm sure there's a Chinatown, Japantown equivalent in LA. If you need something kind of urban.
Right. I think I could possibly do 2 exotic locations.
2?
Yeah. I think I would need Egypt and France.
Okay.
That's pretty much as low as I can go on that, though. And well, with all due respect to your guys' catering, I do need a personal budget for myself. Just doing my own finances. Since I won the Academy Award, I have been running quite a large bill of late. But I do think I can cover it with about $800 a day.
$800 a day?
Yeah, yeah.
That's something we're gonna have to further discuss, particularly because, because of the fact that we are extending, our priority was to have, our preference was to have all of the filming done here domestically. So $800 per diem is quite a lot, for 2 exotic sets. I could. What exactly do you need the per diem for? Is it just food and?
Well, it's all my expenses. I have a number of. Obviously, I need my lodging, my meals. I've recently taken to my Vita Aqua water, which is I drink about 4 of those a day, and each of those is about $50 a bottle. And then I like to have a couple of glasses of whiskey each night, which just so when I go to sleep, I have my creative juices properly flowing. Each of those is about $100 a bottle, $100 a glass.
Okay.
I don't have top shelf whiskey, obviously.
When you were here, we could definitely arrange that. But in terms of being, because we would take care of that, our catering service would take care of that. As far as being away, I am wondering if it would be possible to maybe limit limit the items, because we're gonna pay for your lodging, pay for your food, beverages, those sorts of things, but,
I could limit myself to only one glass of whiskey each night.
one glass of whiskey
I think
per
I
night.
think I do need it for the creative juices, but I do think I could limit. If you guys are willing to agree to the 2 exotic locations,
Uh-huh.
is there a number you guys think would be fair for the location budget? For my personal location budget.
About $300.
This is not going to work. I mean, the lodging alone is going to be about $500, and then my bottles of water, that's going to be another $100. Maybe I could go for $650.
I can't do $650.
Well, I don't move on to
Okay. Well, actually, okay. Let me take a look at this. So it's very, I mean, it's the issue with the editorial control is our primary concern is going over the budget.
Right.
Is not having the film produced in timely manner. It's nothing to do with the content per se. It's really about, we don't want to spend months and months and months having the film being edited when it should be marketed and played, and people should be able to go to the box office and buy tickets. So that's what we're concerned about, is the timing of that. So, I mean, I would ask if potentially, I mean, so you're saying, I mean, you wouldn't be open to an equal share of control. Is that correct?
No.
Okay. So then what I would ask for is a limited amount of editorial rights, insofar as we can basically have some say in what's going on during the editorial process. Not necessarily about take this out or put this in or what have you, but I mean, more so in terms of making sure that it's on time.
So it sounds more like we're talking about what the post-production schedule will look like.
Yeah, true. I mean, I think they go together, the amount of time that we want to have done, but also making sure that that if there's something that you're working on and we aren't necessarily in agreement that it will make a huge difference and it's just delaying the production of the film, we would want to at least be able to be involved in that.
See, my problem is, and I've worked with other people before, where there's something that's pretty much integral to the film.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of times the production will be like, well, that's just a 10-second scene, but maybe that 10-second theme is the crux of the whole metaphor of the art.
Right.
And so I can't give editorial control. I'm willing to discuss how much time I spend in post-production, but I cannot give editorial control away.
At all.
At all.
Well, if it's absolutely at all no editorial control, then we're going to have to talk more about the salary and the bonus issues. Just because it's a little, we as a production company, we have, we're relinquishing all control over the kind of movie that we're making. We want to make sure that we aren't investing so much with so little control. Not to say that we don't have faith or we're questioning your artistic feeling, nothing like that. It's just purely trying to make sure that we are doing something that makes financial sense. percentage-wise of film, if it's, so huge as a hit, basically, even a small percentage would yield, great results for you personally.
And I do think, I mean, that's why I'm willing to take such a hit on the actual salary. I mean, for me to take less than $800,000 is already such a step back, because I think $800,000 at least should be my salary. But the reason I'm willing to take as low as $450,000, which is what you offered, is because I really do want the percentage. That's a big focus for me. It needs to be at least 10%, and I prefer to, obviously I'd like 15, but you said 15 is not an option. I believe I'm entitled to 12% if I want to settle for $450,000 as my salary.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to run some numbers, but first, why don't we talk about post-production schedule? What were you thinking of?
So this is an area where I'm willing to compromise, but my initial schedule was for a year. That's what I felt like I would need to properly do this. Again, I want the movie to be in 3D, because that's going to make it even more money, and that takes even longer. But this is an area where I'm willing to cut down.
We would have to cut that down significantly, because if you're asking for complete editorial control, it's going to have to be really speedy. Really, really speedy. I mean, 30 days would be our preference.
So if I agreed to 30 days, my issue would be that I don't think I could do that in 30 days, and we'd give a delay. But if we agree that I get full editorial control, I'd be willing to do this in 3 months, I think.
Can you do it in 2?
If I get full editorial control, I can do this in 2.
Okay, so you don't think it's physically possible to do it in 1 month?
No.
But you do think it's possible in 2 months? Because if we're contemplating the idea of giving you full editorial control, then I guess there shouldn't be anyone there delaying the process if you can do it in 2 months.
That's correct.
Okay, so let's just tentatively agree on 2 with tentative editorial control. And let me run these numbers really quickly so that I can see what we're looking at. We didn't agree on personal location budget, did we?
No. We've talked about 2 exotic locations, but I don't think we ever firmed that up. I don't know if you're willing to agree on that.
Let me take a look. I'm running it at 2 right now. Oh, we did agree on pre-production budget, didn't we, at 250? Or no? Is that still in flux?
I said I'd be willing to do 250 with
Depending on
a couple of other things.
Depending on the bonus.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have agreed at 450.
Again,
Or depending on the bonus.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So why don't I just take these out?
With the bonus of 12 or so? Is that what you're calculating right now?
I'm doing everything but the money to you.
Okay.
Right now. Okay, here's what I'd like to propose. So we definitely don't want you to feel like we're devaluing at all.
Okay.
You initially had wanted a rather high salary, or high from our perspective. We can increase your salary from the $450. That was just our starting. We can increase your salary by $200,000, or actually $150,000, so maybe $600,000,
Okay.
potential figure, for a reduced director's bonus.
Okay. What
Okay.
number are we talking
So you said 12, but I think we can do 10.
about? So 600,000 and a 10%.
Yeah.
Director's bonus.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking about right now. And if we were to do that, then would you be agreeable to a $250,000 production budget, pre-production budget? Or would you be agreeable to any of it actually?
10%. 600,000. Can I get into the $650,000 salary?
$650?
Yes.
With 10%?
Yes.
And the 250 bonus?
Yes.
Can I have something? Just give me 1 second, sorry. And then what about the personal location budget?
I think do that separately.
Yeah.
I'm penciling the 650.
Okay. We have 650,
250 pre and then 10%.
250, and then we did a 2-month schedule, 10% bonus. Location, I think we talked about 2 exotic.
Yeah.
Okay, editorial control. So the thing about, okay, that's fine. The editorial control. I mean, the only thing I would ask is that we have some sort of agreement that if it is not done by the time that we have, that we will see that basically your bonus will be, I don't know, prorated is the word, but to essentially compensate for the fact that if it takes more time, because that's what we're concerned about. We're not concerned about messing or altering what your vision is. We really just want to make sure it's on time and that we don't miss the summer blockbuster. So if we could have an agreement that accompanies that basically your bonus may be impacted by going far, beyond what the schedule is, that would be really helpful in terms of our security for making sure that it comes out on time, so we're not shelling out more money than we need to.
Okay. I think obviously that's something we're gonna have to have. I'm gonna have to have a lawyer look at the exact how it is exactly worded. But yes, that's something I could agree to.
Okay, so plus potential contract. Okay, production designer, we said Child Star Dakota, and I think we just changed hands.
And just to revisit the Child Star, is more child actors, that's just cost you money. That's not there's Okay.
I mean, it doesn't say anything about more than one. Do you think First Star will rival? Yeah, it says for the part, so it makes it seem like it's only one.
I can have multiple parts. We can have multiple child actors. I don't know. I just don't know if that's a negative or a plus for you.
No, I mean, I think it's probably more towards the negative because it would probably just cost us money to
Okay.
pay for an actor.
Okay.
But I think you can still make a great film. With,
All right.
You know.
And so, okay, so in that case, let's just agree to Dakota Fanning. That was my first choice. And it seems
Right.
like that was your first choice.
Yes. So, got so many notes. Okay. So, sorry.
And so, did we want to just figure out what we want to do? Personal location.
Yes. Can I just read these out really quickly? Sorry. It's just like a lot of stuff going on. And then we agreed to 650, 250, 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we agreed to 10%. Then we agreed to Dakota.
Yep.
Okay. Then we agreed to McConaughey, right?
Yes.
And then we agreed to 2 exotic locations.
Correct.
And we agreed to J-Lo. We are working on that one. We agreed to Sandra. And editorial control. Okay. Okay, so let me just Okay, so because I came up on the 650, I can't allocate a personal location budget.
At all?
No, not for a number that's listed on this paper. We're at the 650 with the 10%.
I can't work without a personal location budget.
That's your bottom line, you can't.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay. Would you be willing to reduce something?
If I'm willing to look at a couple of areas where, what in particular what sort of costs you the most?
Well, what's cost me the most? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. These numbers are all different than what I came up in with, so. Okay. Okay. So, would you agree to $300 a day? Instead of just, you know,
I think the lowest I can go is 500.
500?
Yeah. Like looking at all my personal finances and what it's going to cost. I think anything more than 500 is going to be costing me too much money.
Okay. That's $500 for 2 exotic sets.
Yes. How much, if we did only one exotic location, would I be able to allocate for my personal location budget? How much room does that open up?
More. That would change it to. I mean, I could comfortably give you the 500 with one exotic location.
Well, I was looking for more like 700.
Oh, 700 in exchange. Okay. I mean, I can't do 700, but I can probably do. I mean, if that's kind of your absolute minimum, I can do the 500 for 2 locations.
Okay.
Okay, I can definitely do it one location 500, but I can't go to 750 or 700. Sorry.
No. Yeah, I was looking. If I could get up to 700, I'd be willing to do only one exotic location, but not for 500.
Okay. So
That's already. That's
yeah, we can't go. I can't go above 500.
all right. So 500 for the personal.
Yeah. Okay, so let me just do the phone numbers. And then again, just with the, kind of accompanying the contract with the editorial control, of making sure that we're giving you full editorial control, that you'll stay within the 2-month, post-production and, post-production period, and that any extended time, would be deducted from your bonus.
Right.
Okay, so I think we actually have,
And do we want to talk about sequels? Again, this is a book trilogy. I think we could easily make this into a movie trilogy too. Or do we want to save off talk of the sequels to a future negotiation?
I think we have full confidence that this movie will be a success and that there will definitely be a reason to talk about a sequel later.
All right. So should we just run down what our
Sure.
final terms are?
Sure.
Okay. So it's $650,000 salary.
Yes.
$250,000 pre-production. 2 months post-production. 10% gross bonus.
Correct.
2 exotic locations.
Correct.
$500 personal location budget.
Correct.
I'm going to have to keep full editorial control.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get Sandra Neal to be our production designer.
Correct.
The child actress will be Dakota Fanning.
Correct.
The male lead will be Matthew McConaughey.
Correct.
And our female lead will be Jennifer Lopez.
Correct.
All right, you ready to shake on that?
Yes.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.